some odd pages of spectacular sketches and drawings, field sketches, watercolors, acrylics, and so forth. However, we have now seen many spectacular journals, but he certainly set the bar extremely high at the beginning. So what we've done is we've scanned in these journals, and they are posted online on the AFC website so that everyone can see them. We've been looking for ways to share them, these real masterpieces, really. And the solution we had for this show is we were able to put together a book that reproduces at about 90% the spreads of every single page within David's journal, as well as Pollyanna's and Allison Nichols'. So please have a look at them. It's well worth leafing through each of them. They really, truly are masterpieces, and that captures the spirit, the essence of their trip, and that's a core element of how we communicate these expeditions. So without further ado, the next on the list is Pollyanna. If you please come up, and Pollyanna's here from the UK to speak to us tonight.
On the podium.
Good evening. I was very honoured to be granted one of the AFC fellowships in support of an expedition into Bhutan. Bhutan is a tiny kingdom in the Himalayas. It's a naturalist paradise. It's geographically and politically isolated. It provides a safe haven for some of the world's most endangered species. Seems almost impossible to cram one incredible month into 20 minutes, but I'll do my best.
You went back.
Sorry.
Or you must have just clicked, you have to the front or back. Hold on a second now. Hold on. It was like
I'm going back.
There we go.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
It's the one on the right.
On the right.
There, hold on a second. Hold on. That's
Hang on.
right.
Which one do I press?
Sorry, it should be that.
Oh, sorry.
No? Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on a little bit.
Okay, so this is when the flag arrived at my home in England, in Derbyshire. Over the next few weeks, the flag had many adventures, and so unfortunately did we. It isn't actually possible to fly directly to Bhutan from the UK. We had to fly via Kathmandu. But the flight from Kathmandu to Bhutan is one of the most spectacular in the world, flying as it does over 8 of the world's highest mountain peaks, including Mount Everest. There are 3 things that strike you after the first few days in Bhutan. First of all, the unrivaled beauty of the country, the snow-topped Himalayas, the hand-painted architecture. Secondly, the spirituality of the country. Prayer wheels line the streets, there are prayer flags everywhere. And thirdly, the dogs. There are dogs of indeterminate breed everywhere in Bhutan. They have a special job to do. During the daytime, they sleep anywhere and everywhere. Then, at a given signal, sometime around 10 o'clock at night, each and every dog in Bhutan wakes up, barks, yaps and howls, fill the streets, echo through the mountains, the whole night long until dawn, at which point each and every dog in Bhutan collapses to sleep the day away. So if you're planning a trip to Bhutan, pack your earplugs. So before leaving the airport city of Paro, we wanted to see Bhutan's most famous monastery, the Tiger's Nest. And as you can see, it's a bit of a climb. Even when you reach the first buildings, the climb isn't over. Another 1,750 steps carved into the rock to reach the main temple. Halfway, we stopped to photograph the flag and to sketch the temple in my journal. And I also added one of the wall paintings of a tiger, a rather stylized tiger there. I did a finished painting of the temple, Legend has it that a sainted monk landed at this precise spot on the mountainside. This is where they built their temple, but he landed on the back of a flying tiger. So I felt it was rather appropriate to paint a tiger in front of the Tiger's Nest Monastery. So basically we travelled from the west, hang on, I've got something to point with, haven't I? From the west of Bhutan, the whole way across to the east. We travelled down into the foothills of the Himalayas and the borders of India. But first of all, we travelled north into the high mountains. We drove as far as the highest point, which was over 13,000 feet. From this point, we were on foot, trekking high up above the snow level. Here I was able to sit and sketch. I was sketching the lammergeier, the vultures. They were wheeling high overhead. Lammergeier are also known as bone breakers because they drop bones from a very high height down onto the rocks below to smash them open so that they can eat the marrow inside. So a word of advice, artists, never sit on a rock to sketch directly below a lammergeier. We came a little below the snow line to try and find a level point to set up our base camp. So here we are, camping in Bhutan. I wish. It was a very far cry from the sort of luxury tents we have in Africa on safari. This is camping in Bhutan. Camping at its most basic. We had one hurricane lamp for light, which we kept in the dining tent. It also gave off just a little welcome heat. This was our kitchen, all the cooking done over an open fire outside, and we had to wash in icy mountain streams. Unfortunately, both Anna Louise and I suffered very badly from altitude sickness. So at this stage, we had to move a little lower down to try and get over that. We started to come across a lot of yaks. And despite the fact that they're about the size of sofas, yaks are very nervous, and as soon as we tried to approach them, they were off. But this young calf was more curious than nervous, so he stayed close enough for me to make some sketches. These are the little yak herders' children. These 3 little children had actually been left in charge of a large domestic herd of yak. They were very happy to pose with the flag, and they watched in fascination as I sketched them in my journal. I also sketched the yaks and the barn in the background there. And back home I did a more detailed, finished work of the young children. Used some of the details from my sketches in the background there, some yaks and the building. So we had our first official meeting with the Worldwide Fund for Nature, which is the only international animal charity working within Bhutan. There we met the head of WWF Bhutan on the right, and also their international auditor on an official visit from America on the left. They gave us a fascinating overview of the conservation work being done in Bhutan, and we pledged our support for some of their future campaigns. They took us along to their takin sanctuary. There are no zoos at all in Bhutan. There is just this one reserve. The takin is the national animal of Bhutan. This reserve, this little sanctuary is very large wooded area. We were actually very lucky to see them. And again, I filled page after page in my journal with sketches of the takin. So our second official meeting was with the daughter of the Minister of Home Affairs of Bhutan and her business partner. We've been very impressed with the beauty of Bhutan. The one blot on the landscape, quite literally, was the litter. It's only in the last few years that Bhutan has started to import plastic bottles and packaged food. And sadly, this is the result. So they're trying to set up a charity called Green Dragon to educate the children of Bhutan of the dangers of litter to wildlife. Again, we've pledged our support for this campaign. We are hoping to send some money over shortly. I also took the opportunity to visit the National Art School. It could not have been more different from the sort of art education we have. there they have to learn patterns, specific designs. They're not allowed any creativity.